Hey, more friends, Bill here. How you doing? Good to see you this morning, Friday morning, December the 6th. Hard to believe, December the 6th, a year is coming down to an end. And so praise God, though, lots of opportunity for gospel preaching. That's what we're after, lots of opportunity for gospel preaching. I want to share with you today a couple of things. One is weekend of games and events going on. Two, talk about bowl season again, SFOI 1000, NHL, NBA, here in the States, and then the Whitfield program. Just keep rolling on, trying to encourage you to get out, preach the word as always. Please give me a call or text me if you have any questions. If you see this, 423-724-7500, 423-724-7500. I love it, man. Rain or shine, cold or hot, there's people get together and we can preach Christ. Hey, let's talk about the weekend. This Sunday, December the 8th. Who's playing? Who's preaching? John Coble in Nashville. John is the most faithful soul in Nashville. You'll find his email, john@johncoble.com, on this video. But man, he's so faithful. Game kickoff noon CST. There's a great place to preach up there on the pedestrian bridge. If you've never been and you're near Nashville, man, you got to go. And John does a great job. He's faithful, gets up there and preaches and stays after it, man. So John will be there Sunday. Matthew Cochran should be at the Pittsburgh Steelers game, 1 p.m. in Pittsburgh. And Matt DeJesus should be at the Cardinal game in Arizona. I'm not sure what they call the stadium now, but in Glendale, Arizona. Kickoff is 2:05 Mountain Time, which would be about 4 o'clock our time. So 3 games. College this weekend. We don't have a banner for this, but is a conference championship weekend. 2 games where there will be teams. Alex Burt and the crew will be down in Atlanta for the SEC championship game. He's got 4 or 5 guys coming down, including Super Bowl outreach team leader Mark Yoho will be there. And so they should be a big game. If I talk about who's playing big games, my main interest is crowds. We're looking for people. This game is going to attract some people there this weekend. So if you want to go, I'm going to give you his email, dalexburt@gmail. Contact Alex and get down there and join him at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium today, Saturday, tomorrow, and preach. And then also tomorrow, Brian Nine. He's at Indianapolis preaching up there, and I'll get his contact info here as well. But to reach out to him, big game there as well. Penn State versus Oregon, number 1 versus number 4. Should be a huge crowd in Indianapolis. Other things I comment about are, is this a good spot for preaching? Atlanta's a good spot. Indy's a great spot. So they're both good places to preach. Some places not so much, but these are good places. If you're in the Indianapolis area or can get there tomorrow, then contact Brian and join him to preach the gospel with the guys there. Stephen Kendall should be with him as well. And so the same with Alex. Good times. Also in Charlotte, hey, if you happen to live in Charlotte, then please go down and preach at the ACC championship game. I think it starts. They usually have their games at night. I'll put that on the bottom of this page as well. And preach down there. SMU's playing Clemson. Clemson in South Carolina should draw a huge crowd. SMU should bring a lot of new people here. Their first time in the top 20, and they might have been there last year, but they haven't been in the conference championship in decades. So they'll be all excited about this. 3 big games this weekend. Check it out. Also on the link below here, you'll see these links to the schedule of the football league. So you've got, I think it's FBS and FCS. FCS, one of those two is the smaller schools. I think they're having their playoffs now or something. But anyway, just look on those links and see if you live near a stadium. And then next fall, plan to preach there. This is the whole concept. I was talking to a pastor up the road from me this week. It's a simple concept of gospel preaching. And obviously what we advocate here at SFOI.org is to be at all the home games. Why is that? Well, you know, what you find out in this kind of work is that the way the church works on the week where you go and remember and so forth and visit, it's the same with people. People are people wherever you are. And so let me say it like this. We preach consistency. What if the church near you or where you go just met once a month or once every 2 months, or you didn't know when it's going to meet? You didn't know if the pastor would show up or not. You know what would happen? their church there'd be nothing there. Because one reason you meet every week is so the people who come to the church can be there. You try to make it simple, not for you, the pastor, the evangelist, but for the people who are coming to hear what you have to say. So when you're there every week, you make it easier for those people to hear what you have to say. That's one thing. And then if you're there every week, then just like in church, then people are going to begin to respond to you in like fashion. In other words, you'll not only have what I call an objective evangelistic ministry, preaching Christ, repent, believe. You'll also be a chaplain as well, in a sense of do some pastoral work. As people get to see you, they get comfortable with you, they're going to come up and talk to you. So look on those lists on this video, find a stadium near you for next fall, and plan to preach at it. While we're talking about that, before we get into the bowl season, let's just talk about SFOI 1000. That is a mission to preach Christ to, in the case of NBA and NHL, your local nearby professional sports team. Same dynamic. I think they both play about 80 games total, about 40 home games. So if you're there at 20 of the games, so we're talking 4 or 5 month season. So you could theoretically be at all the home games. It's not a demanding schedule because they travel so much. You can maybe have 2 games in a week and a week off. But I'd say a minimum commitment is at least half the home games and bump it up to 3/4 and really make it as much of a commitment, starting with half, try to get up to 3/4, if not, nearly all. All's kind of challenging, but you got to 30 of the 40, 35 of the 40, you're really doing good because, again, you want people to hear the gospel, don't you? That's why we say what we say, I say what I say, and you want to be there for people. Listen, once people get to know you, they'll tell you anything. Once they trust you, I used to not understand this and the way people describe what trust does, but once people trust you, trusting is you're dependable and you're reliable. And once they sense that about you, they're going to come up and talk to you. Now, also included in there is you have to be approachable. If somebody comes up to you, your job is not just to rebuke them for being at the game. If they've had the courage to walk up to the open air preacher there in front of, used to be called State Farm Arena in Atlanta, then I'm going to listen to them because they've taken the first step. I've taken the step to be out there. I've tried to present myself to be approachable and consistent. If they walk up to me, then they're responding to what I've done, in essence, how the Lord taught me to be out there. So treat them with some respect. Listen to what they got to say. If they mock you, say thank you, have a great day. They have a prayer request, pray for them, and take it seriously. I think the thing for evangelists oftentimes is we want people to believe. Anything less than that, we don't really want to have to, we don't want to think about it. But I'm telling you, we're there for that as well. When you read the Gospels and watch Jesus interact, and even the Apostle John said, I write these things so you'll believe, like there's that overriding goal. There are oftentimes many steps from unbelief to faith. And so the evangelist has to be consistent to shepherd people along into faith. Same with George Whitefield, John Wesley, these kind of guys. These evangelists, you have a destination, justification by faith, believe, but you have to shepherd people along the way. Sometimes that is dealing with a heckler, an unbeliever. Sometimes that's dealing with someone who has a lack of assurance, doesn't understand just live by faith and so forth. So you, as the evangelist, have to be there to shepherd people forward. So this at least half commitment to half the home games of NHL, NBA, moving up to 3/4 is what that's all about. And that's why you change your schedule to be out there with those people, because you want them to come to faith in Jesus Christ and become Christians and come to know the true and living God. So SFOI 1000, we're in the NBA, NHL season. I highly encourage you to look on those links as well. Pick a team close to you and let us know you're going to preach out there. We'll add you to the list and get out there and start preaching. I think in NBA, football has been far easier here for us, but in NBA, there's 2. I think Diego Sandoval preached at the Phoenix Suns games, and Brady Brewer's been going to Oklahoma Thunder games for a while. And so both of those guys can talk to you and tell you how it works for them. And then NHL, Damien up in Canada has been going there at Edmonton games for a while. He likewise can help you as well. So we got guys who can help you find a good spot. I'm happy to talk to you as well. I've preached in Atlanta 15 years full time, so I can. And in their case, the NBA games and the NHL games were held at the same arena. So you just find your best spot, and just go for it for either league. Anyway, we got guys to help you out. So if you find one, definitely text me 423-724-7500 or email info@sfoi.org and tell Christo, Christo, that you want to commit to the SFOI 1000 program and for whatever team. Awesome. Let's talk about bowl time, bowl season. I'm going to roll through some schedule here, and this list will also be on this video where you see it. My intent here is to throw out some names, some cities, and dates. If you're close by, join the leader. December the 14th, that's the first day of the bowl games, Alex Burt in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl. Also on the 14th, David Day, Montgomery Veterans Bowl. December 18th, Rick Garland, Los Angeles, California, LA Bowl. December 19th, David Robert, New Orleans, the New Orleans Bowl. Thursday the 20th, me, Gasparilla Bowl, Tampa, Florida. Thursday the 26th, Diego Sandoval, Rate Bowl, Phoenix, Arizona. Friday the 27th, Joshua Tubbs, Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham Bowl. Friday 27th, John Dawson, Memphis, Tennessee, Liberty Bowl. December 28th, Tom Cabral. This is a new one for us. Thank you, Tom, for preaching there. The Fenway Bowl in Boston, Massachusetts. Also a first-timer, David Hoffman, Arizona Bowl, Tucson, Arizona on the 28th. On the 28th, Lord will also be in the Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando, Florida. December 30th, John Coble, and back faithful man in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City Bowl. December 31st, Diego Sandoval, back in Glendale, Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl. December 31st as well, Lord willing, I'll be in Tampa at the ReliaQuest Bowl. December 31st, Gerardo O'Bara, very faithful brother in Houston, Texas, at the Texas Bowl. Also on the 31st, Doc Shank at the Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando. January 1, big game, Alex Burt, Atlanta Peach Bowl. January 1, Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California, Rick Garland. January 1, David Roberts, Sugar Bowl, New Orleans. January 2, it looks like Mark Yo is going to join me, Jacksonville, Florida, at the Gator Bowl. January 3, Mike Andrews at the Duke's Mayo Bowl in Charlotte. January 4th, here's probably the best one of the year, Bob Masson at the Bahamas Bowl. Hey, if you want to join Bob down there and preach with Bob in Bahamas, contact Bob. I'm sure he'd love to have you. And then January 9th and 10th are the big games. One is the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's possible I could be there. I'm looking for someone to be there. And the 10th is the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. I think the Cotton Bowl, I think Landon Thurman is going to be there as well. Hallelujah. Let's talk about the Whitfield program, June 16 to 20. This is really what we are doing this year, which is kind of new, and you'll hear me talk about this repeatedly, is we're trying to consolidate all of our training for events into 1 week because our primary training that's not on the street is sermon preparation, sermon preaching. We're going to have, again, 3 events this year, 2 in the States, hopefully 1 in Canada, Toronto, but Las Vegas and probably in Nashville, where we're going to train in open air preaching. You're going to get out and do it. Those are going to be specific training events. I'm pretty sure that's what at least the one in Vegas is for sure. Nashville will do a second one in the States, but it may not exactly be in Nashville. Still talking to Alex Bird about that. But we want to consolidate our classroom training in 1 week because our primary training is gospel preaching sermons. And that's what's going to happen. So as we advocate campus preaching at sporting events, concerts, and festivals, as we advocate our new era SFOI program as well, we want you to come to that week, 5 days, and go through the sermon preparation training. So you'll hear me talk about that. The other thing that is new this year is if you want to be a part of SFOI full-time or part-time, we have both tracks. We are partnering with the Bryan College, and they're going to offer us their MA program in Christian thought, which has classes in Old Testament, New Testament, apologetics, Greek, and Hebrew. It's a 10-class, 12-month program. So we will probably have one of those classes live during that week, if not 2. So watch for that information. We're definitely going to try to have a Greek class that week as well. And we're also going to offer one other. We'll see how it works. I've got it. I've got to talk to the brother that runs the program up there, Brian. And so that's going on that week. We want to highly encourage you, if you're going to get in this kind of work and you're going to either be full-time with us or you want to get better at this kind of stuff, to put these dates on your calendar. June 16 to 20. That's a Monday through a Friday. We're going to meet here north of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the reason we do it this way, so you can concentrate on what's being taught and not have other obligations. It's worth your time, I believe. And so for the other thing that's taught there is if you want to be, quote, full-time, we want to encourage you. We really want to encourage you to join up with us in the Whitfield program, become full-time, or if you want to come kind of halfway with us and begin to do some of the administrative things, which includes organizing your life in a sense, spiritually, and fundraising. I teach that as well. So if you want to join the SFOI team in some fashion, we really want you to be there. Well, you have to be there if you're going to join up those weeks as well and go through my training. So we're trying to give a simple, direct, and as they say these days, robust training in sermon preaching, and then the MA program through Bryan College to kind of balance out, give you an official theological training, and then my training, which I always have referred to as living the life, which is your life at home, your ministry life, taking care of the details of this kind of work and fundraising. We're trying to consolidate it in one primary week right this second. So put these dates on your calendar. Again, whether you're going to preach on a campus, you're going to preach on the air SFOI program, you want to be full-time, you want to I welcome all comers. If you're working with us, of course, if you're going to participate in the 1000 program or be full-time, whatever it is, get these dates on your calendar and come join us here near Chattanooga and go through the training. See if there's anything else this week. What time is it? Clock's ticking here. Goes by so fast at my age. I tell you what, I can roll over and another day passes. Listen, send any questions you got, 423-724-7500. If you want to register, send Crystal an email, info@sfoi.org. If you want to meet somebody on our website, if you look on the website, I have a page, Partnering Evangelist. Their contact info should be there as well. But if you're looking to meet someone in the area where you live, like I talked to a brother this week, who lives over in Paulding County, north of Atlanta, and connected him with Alex for a couple of bowl games this week. Man, I'm here to help. We met so many people over the years, and you want to get out and preach, and you want to join somebody. I met Ron Hartzell this week as well. Ron's up in, Kingston, Tennessee. He's out a lot. So anyway, let me know how we can help. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Lord willing, if I don't join you tomorrow, we'll be back, Lord willing, on Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.